Trying to decide which software package to use can represent a real challenge. While most companies offer a free trial, it isn't trivial to put a piece of software through its paces and evaluate it effectively. Over the years we have experimented with a great many different software tools. In this video we'll look at accounting software for use by startups and what business schools, and many policymakers disparagingly call micro-businesses. But don't let the self-importance of these experts put you off. In Canada, about 75% of private sector jobs are provided by about 3.8 million or so small businesses. Together they only average about 3 employees. Software that makes our small businesses work more effectively will have as much or more impact on our productivity than many of the vanity projects lovingly introduced by politicians and policymakers.
These days we start our search with G2.com. According to their website, G2 is the largest and most trusted software marketplace. More than 80 million people annually, including employees at all Fortune 500 companies, use G2 to make smarter software decisions based on authentic peer reviews. We'd have to agree. Recently I abandoned a 25-year relationship with a vector graphic design package when a venture capital firm acquired CorelDRAW and stopped giving professional support. The natural successor should have been Adobe Illustrator, but I always found the interface too complicated. When I went online and looked at their G2 grid for vector graphics, I was able to find most of the usual suspects, plus a couple of vector tracing products that met my needs better than either CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator.
Accounting software is a little unique in that local tax compliance issues can make popular packages in the US awkward to use in Canada. Localizing accounting software for the Canadian market is often not economic, given the relative size of our two markets. In spite of this, we can still use G2 as a place to start our analysis.
First, you navigate to g2.com/categories and then select Accounting. Next, you'll locate the G2 grid for the accounting category. Normally this simplifies the review process by distributing the products in a grid that is made up of 4 separate quadrants. You'll be most interested in the results shown in the top right-hand quadrant. These are the market leaders and high performers. Unless you filter for business size and select small business accounting, you'll be faced with over 500 listings under accounting software. With that filter selected, you're shown 63 different packages, which is a bit more workable. 3 of the top choices are different flavors of QuickBooks, with QuickBooks Online shown in the top right-hand corner. Also shown in the top right-hand quadrant are Xero, FreshBooks, Zoho Books, Sage Accounting, and SAP Business One. Mysteriously missing from this selection is Wave Accounting. For some reason, Wave only shows up under the trending view. Here in the trending view, you can see Wave Accounting in the middle of the pack. This package was developed in Canada and recently sold to H&R Block. In my view, it is certainly adequate for most micro-businesses. In the last 10 years or more, I haven't seen anything besides QuickBooks Online, Xero, and Wave Accounting. So, I have repopulated the grid with those 3 packages. I also show another software tool that doesn't get any mention from G2 when it comes to accounting software. While the publishers of accounting software don't readily admit it, spreadsheet software is the most popular choice for accounting by small micro businesses in Canada. And there are some pretty good reasons for that. Should you use accounting software for your business? It depends. You probably can't outsource your record keeping. But these days, most of our transaction records are digital. That means compiling your transactions can be done efficiently once a year if that's all you require. Compiling transaction data in a meaningful way is what we mean by accounting.
When you order things online, the vendor usually sends you a confirmation by email. If you buy stuff from Amazon, you can retrieve the invoices online. When you buy stuff with a credit card, you can typically download the transactions from the bank or credit card company. The same is true when you use your debit card. When you send invoices to customers or clients, you'll have to generate them digitally before you print or email them. Periodically, the business owner or an employee can download these transactions and categorize them using off-the-shelf spreadsheet software. In essence, that's what small business accounting software does. Initially, you will train the software to categorize transactions. The software uses your own actual intelligence to build rules for classifying future transactions. If you don't understand accounting categories or don't have any idea how to compile the data meaningfully, you probably shouldn't try to do your own bookkeeping.
One thing is pretty much certain. You must be able to retrieve the supporting receipts when necessary. That's the keeping part of record keeping, and getting someone else to do it for you is pretty hard. You'll need to be able to do this whether you use accounting software or not. Even if you do your own accounting, you will almost certainly need to outsource your income tax filings since it can be excruciatingly complex.
Let's be clear. Free accounting software isn't free. If you use it for invoicing, you'll pay someone between 2 and 3% of each invoice when your customer pays you. Despite that, it's still good value. QuickBooks Online, Xero, and Wave Accounting are 3 viable choices for most Canadian small businesses. As a professional accountant with decades of accounting experience, I appreciate a well-prepared set of records that has been maintained online in any one of these packages. A little trade secret though. The most important thing isn't which package you used, but whether the person doing the work understood what they were doing, and did it carefully. Just like many of my clients, I have better things to do than my own bookkeeping. I'm pretty good at it, but I invariably do it after the fact, at the end of the year. What I do religiously is prepare my own invoices. I firmly believe it's important that whoever worked on a job is involved in the billing. The ability to create invoices, send them to customers, and make it easy for customers to pay is the most compelling reason to use an online accounting system. If preparing professional invoices and accepting payments online are the main reasons for considering accounting software, you wouldn't be wrong to look at QuickBooks Online, Xero, or Wave Accounting. However, there are good alternatives that don't require a complete online accounting package.
After leaving one of Canada's largest CPA firms in 2012, I first opted for an online billing package called FreshBooks. Back then they offered it free for use by public accountants. After a few years they began to charge me, and, as a result, I decided to abandon FreshBooks and gain experience with the most popular online accounting packages. Since my largest client at the time was using Xero for itself and all its subsidiaries, I opted to try QBO for my accounting practice and Wave for my shred consultancy. That way I'd get experience with the 3 most popular online accounting systems. Over the years I have used PayPal for invoicing, and continue to use it for paying staff in other countries. A few months ago a US-based startup paid me with Bill.com. As a result, I considered it for my own company. However, they charge a monthly fee plus a percentage of the invoiced amount for every customer that pays me. That can get pricey on a $10,000 invoice if you do large projects for some of your customers. I believe that billing software should either charge per transaction, like a credit card charges merchants, or as a fee for service. Doing both is excessive. For that reason, I don't recommend either FreshBooks or Bill.com.
Instead, we have opted to put Square through its paces. I should also mention Zoho Invoice based in India. We haven't tried it, but the business model looks promising. Automating the feed between your bank and your accounting software is one of the justifications for using online accounting software. The problem I have with this argument is that my banking information is already online. I don't have to reconcile my bank. I just go online and see how much is there. For many clients, it can be more efficient to have the client download the transactions from their bank account into a spreadsheet. They simply add a column and categorize the transactions. This can be summarized in minutes using the pivot table capabilities of today's commercial spreadsheet software. We then post the totals to our working paper software. The fact is that most professional accountants use working paper software to prepare year ends. Accounting software is way too slow if you want to earn a decent hourly rate. And it's way more efficient than hunting through someone's general ledger for missing or improperly categorized transactions. I recently received a set of books prepared using QBO by an Indian accounting firm based in Mumbai. None of the transactions recognized the GST, the Indian bookkeepers didn't understand it, and more than half of the transactions were improperly categorized. It only took about 10 hours in total, after the client fired the Indian bookkeeping firm, to do all of the bookkeeping for the next 2 years. While all accounting packages play up the importance of maintaining control over accounts payable, the truth is that, for very early stage companies, credit cards are what they use to pay bills. Like their bank accounts, they don't need to reconcile the payables. They just go online and see how much they owe.
According to Xero's website, customers can use Xero for online file storage. They can manage and share documents, contracts, bills and receipts safely from anywhere. Except that all of our clients use Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive, or one of their competitors to collaborate on documents. Storing documents within your accounting system might make sense to accountants or bookkeepers with an inflated sense of their own importance. But we would just as soon collaborate with our clients using one of the industry standard packages that we are already using.
Most online accounting packages have optional add-ons for timesheets. They may offer project tracking or expense reports. We use an online project management tool called Smartsheet to build and share timesheets, expense reports, and virtually any other form you could imagine. We can even embed these into web pages if required. It is a little pricey, but very effective for us. There are other free online tools like Microsoft Forms and Google Forms that could also be used. What's more, most of our technology clients use some sort of software repository tool like GitHub or Subversion that can be used for allocating time to projects.
We use Microsoft Excel to summarize downloaded bank and credit card transactions. We then post it to a homemade working paper tool we call Cloudware, in conjunction with Citrix Cloud Storage. This allows us to collaborate across the country and around the world seamlessly. We could almost as effectively use one of the other cloud storage options. What's more, G Suite and LibreOffice would serve almost as well for building a working paper tool, or to summarize downloaded transactions. LibreOffice is not only free to use by donation, it can be used with virtually any operating system, including Linux. It works almost interchangeably with the other two. And it includes a very useful graphic design tool called Draw. Xero, QBO, and Wave Accounting are certainly viable alternatives for small businesses, and often for larger ones as well. However, they are not the only alternatives. The right choice for your business will depend on many factors. We believe that an accounting system should be made to measure. Like a business suit, fit is important.